Chile and the champ, Chile and the champ,
What up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Chile and the Champ.
Chile and the champ.
You know, I'm myself as the Chile, along with the people's champ, the homie Paul Wall.
Pow wow, baby.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Chile and the Champ. I'm your host, the Chile.
And the champ.
That homie right there, Paul Wall, man. What's going on, everybody?
What it do?
You know what, man? Happy Margarita Day going out to everybody. Today is National Margarita Day. Paul, you having one or two?
I actually have my boy Young Dog put me on to a codeine margarita, and it's actually pretty good. But I don't recommend mixing alcohol and drink though. But I did do it on a few occasions, and the codeine margarita, I might have one of those today.
Oh, damn. Hold up. I'm going to have to try it or something like that. But, all right, man. Now, check this out, Paul, man. We're going to start the show off on a sad note. You know, first of all, we want to say our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in Florida. You know, the school shooting that happened in Florida and everything. It's a sad thing, man. You know, it's getting worse and worse every single day for schools, for students. You know, back in the days, you know, that was like a sacred place. You know, you could just go learn. You didn't have to worry about nothing. I mean, maybe in the Cold War days, you know what I'm saying, you had to worry about bombs and stuff, but you know, nowadays, man, students killing students, man. What you think?
It's crazy because you thought that something people used to protest and fight just for the right to go learn. It's something we take for granted so much in our society.
Yeah.
The right to learn and have an education is something we just take for granted. And in the past, like I said, people have protested. They put their lives on the line and had lost their lives for the rights of all people to learn. And now for people to go to this place that we look at as we look at as our children to be protected while they're in this environment, we now have to worry about other students doing things like this or people coming into this. The schools being a target for terrorism, as it being a location to attract people they know that they can shoot up a movie theater or shoot up a school because there's going to be a lot of innocent victims and it's going to bring about a response of terror. And that's what usually the reason why they're doing that is because they're trying to bring about terror. And this is just, it's so sad that we have to now prepare our kids just to go learn on what to do if something happens. Just like we would a fire drill, we now have to have a mass shooting drill.
Yeah.
And that type of trauma that we put on kids, you know, is detrimental to their learning experience. Kids across the nation are experiencing PTSD right now just from these type of school shootings, like because they're afraid of it. It happened to them, and it's at the rate now of, I think they said, one a week.
It's crazy, man.
It's very sad, man. So definitely, and also I want to say, man, a lot of people take for granted thoughts and prayers. They say, oh man, like we shouldn't be sending our thoughts and prayers. Man, look, I believe in the power of prayer. I believe very firmly and strongly in the power of prayer. I don't rely solely on the power of prayer. You have to bring about action with it, but don't stop praying. Don't stop praying for protectiveness for our children as they learn, for others and our own kids. But definitely do not stop praying, man. I want to encourage all those out there to keep praying for sure, man. But we got to do something though, man. At what point are we not going to do something? And they always say it's not the right time to talk about it. When is it not
always a good time to talk about it, man?
We have to address it at some point. So I definitely salute and encourage all of the youth out there that are, for one, registering to vote and being a part of the voting process, but also taking the initiative upon themselves to force the politicians and those that we elect to make the decisions and come to the table to make a change, forcing them to make a change. Because there's a lot of our generation who we don't feel a part of that voting process. We gave up on it. So I encourage everyone out there to go back you got to, not just for president, but there's always some type of election going on. And it all starts locally. That's where your power is to be heard and needed the most locally in our local community. So, man, I encourage all those out there, be a part of the voting process. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a hypocrite. I only voted in my life, only time ever was for Obama twice and for Mayor Sylvester Turner. That's the only thing I ever voted for, and for Sheila Jackson Lee because she was in the same docket. But I'm just saying, like, I never voted any other election ever. I never thought my vote counted, but them times I felt like it might have counted, and I wanted to be a part of history, so I did it. So everybody out there, you know, there's something we take for granted, that we have to vote all the time, even if you know, it doesn't matter who you're voting for. It doesn't matter what the topics are that they're voting on or debating. You have to vote just for the sole purpose of reminding them that they got people they have to answer to. Because they take that for granted too. A lot of the politicians, they take for granted the people that they have to answer to, and we have to remind them you have to answer to somebody.
And it's exactly what's going on right now. I mean, you look at the, you know, not to get all political and everything, but you know, whenever you look at the last presidential election, everybody voted. Hillary got like 1 million votes more than Trump in the popular vote, but really that doesn't really count much, because what really counted was the collegial electoral all that stuff, and those are the ones that elected the president. So really, our power is to vote for the people that are in Congress, and then, you know, put the people that are like more in our favor, instead of like, you know, if you don't vote, you let Republicans. Like if you're a Democrat and you don't vote, you let Republicans win. Yeah. And either if you're Democrat the other way around. You know what I'm saying?
I remember a while back when George Bush was running. My boy, shout out to Kenyon Martin. That's my boy, man. Back then when he was running for president, this was Junior, not saying George Bush Jr. I remember Kenyon Martin. He had a phrase he used to always say: "If you don't vote, that's an automatic vote." For George Bush. Yeah. And the same still goes. Same went for Trump, and for every election ever. If you don't vote, that's an automatic vote for the other, for what you're voting against, because you're choosing to not be a part of the process, and people on the other side are choosing to be a part of the process. So whatever the issue is, you definitely got to vote to be a part of it, and also to remind them they got to answer to somebody, man. For sure.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Paul. So, you know, this tragedy that happened in Florida and everything. What do you think should be done? I mean, do you think the gun laws need to be restructured? You know, I know there's a lot of people out there saying, man, you know, feeling threatened that they're going to take away our guns and everything like that. But if you think about it, I think I'm a gun owner. I have 3 guns.
As am I.
You know, and then they're all safety, secure, and everything. Right. You know, I'm a responsible gun owner. So my thing is, I think there's a lot of flaws in the laws, because, you know, how can you tell me it's okay for an 18-year-old kid to buy a rifle and an AR-15 pistol, but it's not okay for him at the age of 18, but it's not okay for him to buy a gun at 18. He has to wait 21 till he's 21 to buy a gun.
A pistol, handgun.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, man, that's tripped out. Yeah. Make it 21 for everything, you know? Right. And I know that a lot of people hide behind the fact that they're like, well, they can buy a rifle because hunting is a sport, you know? So they're saying, oh, it's taught as a young person from parent to parent, you know, from parent to kid, you know, all this stuff. They see it as a sport. So that's like one of the things to where I see flaws, you know what I'm saying? They need to make it 21. And, you know, just like you got to be 21 to drink.
Right.
You know, 21.
Let me say this. Let me first off by saying, me and Chileandthechamp, we're speaking from our experiences, our knowledge, and what we believe, which is all right as a human on this earth and as American, which is your right as a human on this earth and American or wherever you at. So you have the right to feel how you feel based off of your experience.
Yeah, we're not pushing our
for sure.
views on you.
And also let me say this: a lot of times in our society, if we're ignorant about something, we don't want people to know. We want to act like we know everything about everything. Me and Chile, we gonna tell you, we basing this off of what we know. We did a lot of research on these type of topics, especially as gun owners. I know you yourself and me, I know firsthand, we do a lot of practice and we do a lot of knowledge about knowing, being familiar with the guns and everything like this. So we're not trying to, you know, but at the same time, anyone out there, if you don't know, don't be afraid to look it up or ask. That's the problem we have a lot of times, is we all know it all. Yeah. So I encourage anybody out there, man, if you don't know about these type of things, please ask. Don't be ignorant about the topic. Just ask and try to learn. Now, I as well, man, I like you, I own several guns. And I remember when I was 18, at that age, you could go buy, and as now, you can go buy a shotgun. And I always wondered that, like, what do you mean? Wait a minute, I can't buy a handgun, but I can buy a shotgun? And to me, a shotgun
is worse.
From watching movies or video games, I just see a shotgun as like a little mini cannon. You know, especially at that age, that's how I saw it. Like I got a little mini cannon as a shotgun, but a handgun is more like a personal protective type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a more defensive, it wasn't more an offensive thing. Where a shotgun is like you gonna blast a hole in somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I never really understood that. And I also remember at that age too, being so young, not myself, but some of my friends, we all have different type of upbringings. We all have different type of DNA and wirings. And we all also don't, you know, we partake in different things. When I was at that age, I wasn't drinking alcohol or doing anything like that where some of my friends were. So I always, there's sometimes where I might be responsible. I got to be aware and knowledgeable of the fact that everybody's not responsible at that age just because I was. So also, man, I remember one of my friends, he got a hold of a gun. He used to always ride with this gun. And before he had the gun, you know, he wasn't no punk or nothing like that. But he just was minding, you know, always mind his own business. Ever since he got that gun and would ride around with that gun, every time he would stop at a light or anywhere, he always thought somebody was about to rob him or thought he had to pull his gun out on somebody just because sometimes, and that's when I really first realized it. A lot of times when you as an individual or myself, when we get a gun for the first time or not even for the first time, when we have a gun, it makes you feel like powerful, like, oh, I gotta use it on somebody. Like, I'm about to use it. I gotta use it on somebody. I'm gonna use it. Whereas if you don't have it, you don't feel that way. Now, at the same time, I have friends now, you know, one of my best friends, he carries his gun around everywhere he goes, everywhere. To church, everywhere, just for protection. Because in his mind, somebody tried to rob him before, and he's like, nah, you are not gonna rob me again. And it happened before coming out of church, so that's why he's okay. He's
out of church too.
See it, man. People, you know, a lot of people are heartless, man, and they'll get you when you least expect it. But you know, I'm just saying, like he always carries his gun with him, and if he doesn't have it, he is so paranoid. Just because when he has it with him, he feels more protected. He feels like, you know, more like, okay, I'm good because I got this gun. But if he doesn't have it, he always feels like nervous, on edge, like, damn, I don't have my gun, man, something gonna happen to me. And I always have to tell him, I don't go out with him much, but sometimes I'll go to the club and he brings his gun with him to the club. I'm like, hey, bro, you gotta leave that in the car, bro. Yeah. So you get in some serious trouble. That's one thing I encourage people when we talk about guns. Man, be familiar with the laws and punishment and everything that happens when you, man, you're not allowed to carry your gun on places where they sell alcohol like that. You
like 5150 law that they have, you know, anything that's 51% alcohol sales, you cannot carry in it, meaning the clubs, the bars, anything. You're not supposed to have it there. Also in public libraries, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You're supposed to just kind of be careful with it, man. But you know what, Paul, man, I think, look, we're not saying take everybody's gun away. Right,
not at all. Right, I'm a member of the NRA.
Yeah, but
so I honestly, bro, I be seeing people, you know, they talk about the NRA, and I'm like, man, I ain't, you know, honestly, I always just being a gun owner or whatever, you hear NRA, like that's the, you know, the people that advocate for gun owners.
National Rifle Association.
Right. So I hear people complain about things, and they complain and don't. First of all, it's your right to complain if you want to. Yeah. And you don't have to. You're not, just because you complain doesn't mean you have to do something about it too. But take action with the complaint. So I say, man, why would I complain about what the NRA doing when I could be a member of the NRA and vote and nominate, you know, for the different people to be elected for the different, whatever the topics are that they going after, or whatever the thing, the important topic, you know, the things on the agenda. Why not be a part of that? So I decided to be a part of this. So I'm a part of the NRA, and I'm gonna vote and for the agendas that I feel are important, not for ignorance or for guns for everybody. That you know, there's you know, we can be responsible about this and still be pro-gun. I'm very pro-gun, but still very responsible, and I don't have the answer. We don't have the answer. We don't know it all.
Man, look, we're not saying ban the guns or anything, but I do care about the youth. We want to protect the youth. We want to make sure schools are safe for kids again.
They should be able to do algebra.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And like, look, we're adjusting the law, like the gun laws. It's not going to stop it. We know that and we get that, but at least we're doing something about it. Look, we're not trying to say ban the guns, but at least make it harder on them to do, you know what I'm saying?
And step by step, we can figure this out. Yeah. What's happening is it's always, we'll do it later. We'll do it later. And it's too much to tackle all at once. And everybody thinks it's either all guns or no guns.
Yeah.
When it's not it. We can, every subject, like bump stocks was a big issue after the Las Vegas thing.
It still is now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, every different topic on the agenda, there's some type of way. There's enough smart people involved to where we could come up with something.
I mean, look.
To help protect our children.
Look, this is a perfect example. When, I'm not hating on Trump or anything. I'm just saying what's happened. When he got in office, first thing he did is he did away with that law Obama did about the gun control, about the people mental health. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do if you had mental health issues, you cannot get a gun and stuff like that. First thing Trump did away with that.
It seems like that's all he's been doing is doing away with.
Yeah,
Obama.
but my thing is he's doing away with stuff, and now he's making it. We're gonna make sure that the new. We start doing a lot of background checks better and mental issues. But Obama had already done that, and he did away with it. Now, politicians is who I'm pointing the finger at right
exactly,
now.
Man.
Because, Paul, you said one thing. The NRA, National Rifle Association, you're a member and everything. But if you look, a lot of politicians, they talk big. Oh yeah, we're going to do the gun law change. But then they don't. They come up. They just don't do it because the National Rifle Association is a big contributor to their funding. To their funding. So whenever they're running for office, they got the National Rifle Association hey man, we're gonna donate $5 million and we're gonna sponsor you for this and that, blah blah. But what people don't know, in the long run, they're gonna be hey man, we need that favor. You remember those $5 million?
Call in.
$5 million,
and they probably got some type of blackmail evidence because there's always man.
That's why I've always said the more the ones screwing up the country is the politicians, man, because they're the ones screwing people, man. They take their time doing whatever for their laws. I mean, you notice whenever they expect their paychecks on time. You ain't getting on their paycheck. New law.
Yeah, right.
Hey, politicians got to get their paycheck 2 days before everybody else.
They need to pass a law where politicians don't get paid until they figure this out.
That's what they
got to figure this out. Look, they figure it out.
And that's where voting is important for Congress. For people to vote to who they're going to represent for them in Congress. You know what I'm saying? You want to have somebody that's going to have your values and your best interests. You know what I'm saying? Now, people are always going to be arguing. They've been arguing since back in, the first year the United States became an independent country and all that stuff. We're not going to change that. It's been going for years. But at least we can try to make it better. And that's one positive thing that's going on right now with what happened in Florida is that the youth, the students, high school students, are getting involved saying, all right, enough is enough. You know what? We lost 17 students, man. God bless their souls, especially the teachers that were, everybody that passed away in any school shooting and everything like that. Man, we feel for them and their parents, thoughts and prayers are with them.
Definitely.
But that's one thing that I'm proud of, man. You got the kids from Florida going to Tallahassee. They took buses and everything, and they're going to go protest and everything, but they're getting involved. And I don't know if you've been watching the news, man, but if you look at, they've been having town hall meetings. They had one with Mark Rubio from Florida.
Right.
Man, them kids laid in.
They was letting them have it.
I'm gonna tell you, them kids were ruthless.
Yeah, man. Salute to the kids.
Yeah,
man.
and that's why
it takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to do that.
But their voices are being heard, and that's the thing that I'm like, damn. This is the learning. They're making history right now, and gotta give it up to Rubio for
standing up and
being a stand-up guy and going and letting them have that town hall meeting. A
lot of politicians are running from this, and they're tabling it, meaning we'll talk about it later. We'll figure it out later.
My copy points they saying on my notes I can't talk about it, but hey, did y'all see that new thing that I'm gonna pass? That's how they do it, man.
Exactly.
That's why politicians weird, man. That's why I never mess with them. I don't rock with them.
Right here on the Chile and the Champ podcast, right here, right now, as a lot of times in the future you will see, you're going to be hearing things first, kind of breaking news, because a lot of times we have it first before other people have it. So right here, you're going to hear it first, man. We calling all politicians in America right now, we calling for a call to integrity, man. Call for integrity, man. All politicians out there, where is the integrity, man? I mean, what is you doing this for? It's a call right here on the Chileandthechamp podcast.
I mean, look, they got kids. You got kids, Paul. I don't have any kids, so I know it work. Y'all are worried, man. Having kids nowadays, everybody that listening to us that has kids out there, I know y'all are worried. Your kids are worried too, And I'm one of those things that, man, I love kids. I don't have any, but I want to make sure that the youth, the kids, are safe from everything, man. Right. They deserve to have a nice childhood. Remember, I didn't have it tough, man. Single parent, my mom took care of us. Yeah, man, we lived paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes, we didn't have luxuries and all, and I'm glad because that made me the man that I am now. But I want to make sure that the kids now have a better chance to go to college. I want them to be educated and be successful. And we, as all of us Americans, U.S. citizens and everything, we need to do our job to make sure the kids are protected, man. That's the future, Or else, what the hell are we, we doing? We doing nothing, man. And if you're not voting, you're part of the problem, man. We need to do something about it. Look, I'm gonna tell you, if you don't know, you're scared, you're intimidated, like Paul said, you don't want to ask somebody, I'm gonna tell you what you do. Everybody got a smartphone nowadays.
Yeah.
You get on Google, Yahoo, whatever search engine, MSN, whatever. You Google what you say. Hey, how do I register to vote? Oh, it could be the stupidest question you can think that you will find it on there.
Yeah. Ask Siri, ask Alexa.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask it and it's that simple.
They'll tell you. It's that simple.
I don't know if anybody, I'm a big Tupac fan. Tupac and Biggie, what I'm saying? And one thing I love about Tupac, man, that dude said, hey, look, I might not change the world, but I might spark the mind of the person that will. I mean, that's pretty deep, man, deep. So I like that. And you know what, man, like I said, man, we need to do something about it, and, parents and everybody out there, man, y'all can email us too also, man, if y'all have questions, man. Chileandthechamp @gmail.com, that's our email. Y'all can email us on there, man, and we can, questions, topics, and whatever, and we can tackle them and everything. But you know what, man, definitely, man, we want to make sure that
it all starts with the voting.
Yeah, so
don't get lost in the sauce of the process, thinking it doesn't count no more.
Yeah,
man, it does. Everything does count, because when you stop voting, that's when it doesn't count, man. Don't take it for granted. All of this that our ancestors have fought for, or the people before us, our neighbors have fought for, your rights as a American, man. Don't take it for granted.
Look at was it Trick Daddy in Miami, man? He said, man, I can't vote, being a felon, or whatever. He couldn't vote for I remember seeing for Obama, he couldn't vote because of his past and everything, but he was out there preaching, making sure people were going to vote.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of things, politicians and, people had hidden agendas and they try to scare you off by voting. Like they said, oh man, if you've been convicted of a felony, you can't vote or whatever and this and that. Oh, you can't, if you're on papers or something like that, you can't vote. So they came up with funny ways to make sure that the minority vote didn't count or anything. Yeah. But man, educate yourself, man. The youth, man, they got like a TSU. They're always, around voting time, you'll see people in PV, TSU, and everything asking you to register to vote and everything.
I always wondered, man. People would sit on their phone and Google the Tekashi 6ix9ine fight all day, but they won't Google what they got to do to vote or who should they vote for. And people, too many times they're like, oh, I like this person, so I'm gonna vote all Republican. So I feel like I like this person, or I feel like I'm supposed to be Democrat, so I'm gonna vote all Democrat. Look, man, it's snakes all in the grass on both sides.
Some are venomous, some are not.
Please do not vote all. Either way, please don't do it. You bet, please just take a little bit of time and research what you're voting for. Why would you're gonna do all this other stuff? You'll research all day. I've seen people sit on their phone just to Google which gas station got the cheapest gas. There's 2 cents cheaper, and they'll drive all across town to get cheaper gas.
Man.
But They won't Google what they got to do to vote or what the issues are about.
And that's the funny thing is like we're always looking for the come up. You know what I'm saying? Check this out, man. Voting is important. Now we're not telling you who to vote for or whatever. You got to do that on your own and your research. But look, start out with your local first.
Local,
because that'll affect you on your house, your property taxes. About, oh man, they're raising the toll road $1, stuff like that. They put out there for you to vote. So just get involved.
Shout out to Sheriff Ed out there. When I remember running for when he was running for sheriff, it really and also like Alan Rosen, you can vote for constables. These are people. I didn't know you could choose who your police officers were in charge of your local area. We had it as a choose. Let me tell you something, man. Anybody out there, look, why wouldn't you want to be a part of that process of choosing who the head sheriff is, choosing who the constable running your area is? Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that?
Man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. Y'all have it so easy. It's like heaven. Go down to the people in Venezuela and Cuba that don't have an option.
See how they got it? Oh my God.
They got them like in dictatorship and everything. They're over there struggling to get a meal and everything.
Right.
And they don't have no voice. They don't have no rights, no nothing. The government comes, takes their properties and, do rape and do whatever they want to their women. Oh, if you speak against the government, you get killed also. Man, y'all don't know how blessed we are in the U.S.
Man, people spend more time on who they're going to vote for NBA All-Star than they do on who they're going to vote for their local judges. You know what I'm saying? I don't get this, man. Spend a little bit of time and choose. Yeah. These are people that if you get in trouble, you can choose who the judge is. You can choose who the judge is. So that if you get in trouble, something happen, or if someone around you get in trouble, or it's not even about for personal on your defense. If somebody do something to you, you have somebody who's there, the judge, who's going to decide how that stuff runs and how it goes or what their punishment is based off of whatever. You can choose who these people are. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to be a part? That's like going to school when you're in school. Wouldn't you want to choose who the principal was? Yeah. That'd be like if you don't get no pick when you go to school. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the assistant principal is, sometimes you get the one cool one, and it's like all the other three is like assholes, and it's like, damn man, I wish I had the cool. You got the cool assistant principal, because they cool or whatever, and all the rest of them. But why would you can choose who the judge is, you can choose who the constable is, who the sheriff is. These are things you can choose. You can choose who your mayor is. You stop complaining about these type of things and just accepting what happens and actually make a difference. You can do it. You can go out there and all it takes is you just go out there, just 5 minutes on your phone. This is what topics are coming up in this election. Yeah. In whatever year, month it is. And it's going to come up, whatever the top things are, and then you can vote, whether it's legalization of, or some type of way legalization of marijuana, whether it's voting on where the money goes for the schools, for the arts and science programs or things like that, or whether it's voting on just all this
so many after school specials and stuff like that. Man, speaking of that, man, like you're saying, if we don't get involved and we don't vote, it's only our fault, and people are just gonna think like this reporter, this Fox anchor, Laura Ingraham. You know what I'm saying? You heard what she did, telling LeBron and Kevin Durant to just shut up and dribble. I mean, that's how they're expecting minorities to do. Just entertain, dribble the ball, shut the hell up. You're not supposed to have a mind. You're not supposed to talk about politics and everything. And that's what by not voting and not getting in it, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, letting them have that mentality.
What they gonna tell you? Shut up and drink beer?
Yeah, well, shut
up and drink beer.
Shit, I might be a redneck then. No, but man, what you think about that, Paul? About that mentality of her telling Kevin Durant and LeBron James to shut up and dribble just because they voice their opinion, trying to get the youth involved, like what we're doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say, man, she sparked so much outrage by saying it. But on the other side of it, there were a lot of people who agreed with her. They were cheering her on, which is equally disturbing. Yeah, they so many people feel this way. Look, it's like I said, it's our God-given right and our American right.
Agree to disagree, but respect everyone.
We all have an opinion, and we all have a voice to say it. We are allowed to say it. We have that right to say what we want. Our First Amendment right, the freedom of speech. Yeah. So so LeBron has that right just as much as me and you, or as whatever the lady is. You know, we just like LeBron say, I ain't gonna call her name out because I ain't giving her no promotion. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and he has a more powerful voice than she does because he's actually out there leading people, doing things in the community. He does so much.
Giving millions in charity. He gives
so much money back. Yeah. And one thing we take for granted is that we've never, ever seen him in the spotlight for any type of negative things ever. Our president has been in the spotlight more times than it's like so many other people. Right, exactly. So that's one thing we take for granted. So even if LeBron was in the spotlight, he still has that right to freedom of speech, man. So I definitely encourage him to go out there and use his freedom of speech. But one thing too that we sometimes we it's kind of crazy to me is that we need more leaders, man. We need so many more leaders, and we all have the right. And I salute all these people who, from different walks of life, or as entertainers or as athletes or whatever you do. If you become a leader in your community and you see that you have people following you and that you're a role model, and that's who all these people. That's what you are when you become a leader. When you have people following you, and when you fully embrace that and take that on to the fullest extent, and realize, okay, I as an individual might have achieved a certain amount of money or notoriety or celebrity, but I am also a role model and I have people following me. Therefore, I am a leader. We think of different type of kinds of leaders. There's politicians or political, or religious leaders, but all of these different type of celebrity leaders have become leaders in their right because we need role models, and we as individuals sometimes we don't see somebody who's exactly like us in the traditional sense of a leader. So we have to find a leader in a non-traditional sense. Like I said, like athletes or entertainers or rappers. That's why so many of us rappers have become such leaders, because we have so many people following what we do, not only with our choices in our music career, how we run our career, but also more recently in the communities, like what we do. That's why I salute definitely all my brothers and sisters who are out there doing this, such as Slim Thug with his Build the Block program he got, with J.G. Hollins, in Boss Life Construction, all of that, where he's buying back the block and rebuilding his communities and neighborhoods around Houston. Definitely that's an inspiration and salute. Definitely also Zero with his multiple initiatives he does year round, with giving back to school, whether it be turkey drives or Christmas with
he was doing feeding the shelters when it was the freeze, and we had a lot of homeless people that were in the shelters. Zero bought food, cater barbecue and stuff,
Definitely.
make sure that they were fed, man.
Big salute
big
to
ups
Zero.
to him,
He's
man.
always giving back. Also Trey, of course.
Trey, he be doing his stuff. Him and DJ Mr. Rogers.
DJ Mr. Rogers.
They're doing a great thing, man.
They're doing we have great leaders in our community. Also myself, I do a lot as well, with Miss Pap and all of our different initiatives we got going back in the Wesley Virgin Foundation as well. Also, so a lot of these rappers that have become leaders in the community. Also, my boy K Reno, he's always been like that, where he's been outspoken as a leader too. I want to bring him into it too. But but all of us, we have become leaders in our community.
A lot of artists in Houston.
We've embraced it.
Yeah. So
and and we're teaching others that. Also, look, we are all gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do all of this. We can figure it out. So we gonna meet up over there. Who down? Who wanna be down with us? And whoever show up to help us out, then we gonna get it done. That's why I shout out to my brother Derek Muhammad. He's a big part of all of this because he always gives back. And also I got to shout out to the mayor, Sylvester Turner, for allowing and embracing us and calling on us to be the leaders in our community. When he called us to the table to meet, it was based off of the murders that were happening in Houston. Being that Houston was second to Chicago, we were pretty far behind Chicago. But from second to third, the people that was behind us was way down the list. So he was calling upon us to be leaders in our different respected neighborhoods where we are from, and where we have people that follow what we do, to call on them to keep the peace. Let's find a different means of ways to work out our problems, whether it being people getting robbed, whether it being people getting fighting and then they turn into a shootout, or whatever is happening to where people are just taking the murder so lightly to where it's happening so much. Whatever the cause is, the mayor called upon us to keep the peace. Not like it was our fault, like we was causing it, but he was calling on us for help.
Because y'all got the reach that the politicians don't do. Y'all like the hood politicians, man.
Exactly.
People trust in y'all more than they'll trust like a police officer, which is crappy because I think you should be able to trust a police officer. But, you know, politicians and everything. Paul, look, I'm going to tell you straight out, man. We need people just to, you know, start caring about life, man. Basically, man, love each other, respect each other. We're not gonna see eye to eye every single time, man, but at least, you know, you gotta respect each other and be like, hey, man, look, I can sit and drink a beer with the most racist person in the world. He gonna throw in his slugs, I'm gonna throw in my slugs, but at the end of the day, I'll shake his hand and be like, all right, man, you have a good evening, you be safe, and that's it, and I'm gonna leave. But you know what? You might change the way people's their views. You know,
right.
A lot of people don't know our culture. You know, they just see like, oh man, you know, all they do is Hispanics. You know, they think Hispanics are all they do is drunks and illegals here, this and that, and blah blah blah, mowing lawns and everything. They see blacks and they think, oh man, you know, this and that. The stereotypes
it's all
and
based
everything.
Off of ignorance and stereotypes.
Yeah, but they don't know.
100% right. We got to come together and we have to talk about this. We have to communicate. We have to get to know them just like we have to let them get to know us. I completely agree, and I can be the same way when we can talk to somebody. Yeah, we don't have to agree.
Not
we can
everybody.
Also be civil though. You know, we can be cordial, and we don't have to. You know, because I don't just like you. I'm sure we done been around some people where we do not agree at all on certain things, but at the same time, we don't have to kill each other or fight each other just because we don't agree.
You know, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I went to an all-white high school, you know, at Stratford Senior High School, and you know, Hispanics, minorities, you know, well, the most Hispanics were in the game. Well, I play football, so you know, a lot of Hispanics, they were calling me they used to say that I was trying to be white boy because I wouldn't hang out with them. But I was like, man, I'm not into gangs or anything. I just wanted to go play football, go to school, and that's it.
And learn.
And everything. And I changed minds, people there, man, because, you know, like, yeah, my nickname, one guy, you know, people thought it was racist and I was stupid for it. He asked me, he goes, man, you know, I did a good playing practice, and he asked me, he goes, man, what's your name? And I said, don't worry about it. And he says, all right, you look like you can eat a lot of burritos, so I'm going to call you Burrito. Can I call you Burrito? And I said, well, can I kick your ass? And then he said, all right, cool, your name Burrito. And I was like, shut up, dude, you know. So ever since then, the name caught on with people. They were like, oh, you Burrito? I was like, no, punk, you know. But people were like, they just because of that name right there, where people saw it as a negative thing, man, so many people in that school started talking to me, and they started seeing, and they saw how it was,
right? And
they were like, man, we would think all Hispanics were like the same. We're like, nah, man, we just like every race. Every race has the good people, has the bad people, has the criminals, has this and that. Every race has the same. We just, you know, people just from different parts of the country and everything, but, you know, change their minds. And that's what I like to do. I like to educate, you know, and everything, man. You know, I might not be the most educated person in the world, but I try. You know, at least I try to tell the kids, hey, man, go to school, graduate, get that degree, man, because without that degree, man, I can be doing the job for like 50 years,
right?
And then a college graduate will be up for the same job, and the college guy will get it. Might not know a damn thing, but he gonna get it just because he got that degree. You know what I'm saying?
Or you up for a raise, and he gonna get it. He gonna get slightly more because he got that on his resume. He got that degree.
And that's how like our parents were discouraged back in the days, because they were like, man, I could do this job, and they giving it. Well, you know what? That's why we come in now and we tell our kids, you got to go to college. You got to get your degree. With that, I'm going through that process right now. You know, once I was let go from this radio station, now I'm looking for a job, and I'm like, damn, every job out here, you got to have a bachelor's degree. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can help you. I got this little trick. You can go to Kinko's. I got somebody degree. Just tell me how to spell your name. If they look up the database, though, I
had the homies that do that, man. You know, so we good on that.
Hey, if you're a hacker and you know how to change my U of H transcript, hey, get at me. Hit us up, Chileandthechamp@gmail.com. I ain't all the way flunking, but I would like to, you know,
get a little upgrades, you know?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, if people can upgrade themselves, we can upgrade the degree, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm kind of like proud of nowadays, that a lot of people are, you know, getting involved. And then, you know, we getting a lot of doctors, you know, we getting a lot of police officers, a lot of CEOs, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the dopest thing it is, man. And we just remember, man, you always got to get back to the community because, you know, that's where you came back, man. You came back, you know, try to help the youth and everything, man. Let me tell you, man, now speaking of helping the youth out, man, somebody please help this Tekashi guy out, Paul. This fool right here, man.
Yeah, for real.
You know, he's Mexican-American, you know, out in New York. He's a rapper out there, up-and-coming artist, and, you know, he's popping. You know, he's done what a couple of Latin artists and a lot of artists in general have had a hard time doing, and is just be getting the fame and the attention, you know. So, you know, he's definitely out there, but he's going about it the wrong way. Me being a 40-year-old man, you know, I'm out here going, can somebody please help this young guy out, man? It's a kid. He's lost. He's getting money. You know, he's getting girls and whatever. He's gotten in trouble with the law. You know, I know a lot of people don't like him because he got in trouble with some child molestation charges and everything like that. So right off the bat, right there, people already disliking him. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's going around saying that he's, you know, he's promoting gangs and violence and all. He's trying to act all hard and everything. Going to different cities and, you know, remember we talked about when he was for Super Bowl, he got kicked off stage. People throwing bottles at his, you know, throwing bottles and buckets of ice and everything on stage. He got kicked off stage for that. And now this past weekend, at All-Star Weekend, man, he got into a fight with some H-Town boys out there in LAX, man, at the airport in LA. You know, made it on TMC and everything, man. What do you think about that, Paul? And what advice can you give that guy?
Oh, first of all, wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You know, I'll say this first of all. Hip-hop has become, quote-unquote, wrestling, WWE. Salute to Hulk Hogan and everybody in wrestling. You know,
let me tell you something, brother.
I grew up a big wrestling fan.
Oh yeah,
so,
same
you know,
here.
I love it. I really do like wrestling. You know, I'm a fan of it. But hip hop has become the new form or
the new
form,
Jerry Springer show
exactly
type.
Of where it's shock value.
Yeah.
Or you know, and with that, as in wrestling, there needs to be a villain.
Yeah. Oh.
A lot of times people pay for the villain just as much as they pay to see the hero. Just like Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people hate Floyd Mayweather, so they pay to see him lose. So, and he plays off of that. He's embraced that and he's capitalized on that completely. So now it's finally made its way to hip hop, where people are embracing the villain form and they're figuring out how they can capitalize off of that to either get fame, which then transcends into getting money.
But didn't we learn from anything in hip hop from Tupac and Biggie? I mean, you live that kind of lifestyle and it's going to catch up to you.
Hopefully we have. Unfortunately, we have not. Now, what happens also is in hip hop or just in entertainment, when you seem to get robbed or you get in a fight at your show, it tends to follow you everywhere you go, and especially when your response is to say, "Oh, ain't nobody did nothing." Can't nobody. He's
embracing it. He's bragging about it on the social media.
Embraced it, and when I saw the video of the fight, first thing I thought was, man, first thing I thought was, the airport security, man, they
slacking. They need to get fired, man.
Yeah, that would have been something, man. They was completely lacking because it wasn't just like a 10-second fight. That thing, it went on for a minute. But then what I thought was, man, I know it's you at the airport, so you think nothing can happen, but people can touch you anywhere. Anybody can touch you anywhere. All they got to do is, you know, hey, I want to take a picture with you. I'm a fan, or not say anything at all, and just walk up on you. And not everybody who is out to get you looks like you or looks like you think they're gonna look. Sometimes, you know, just when you see the hitman, they wearing white beaters and, you know, some dirty ass clothes.
I'm gonna tell you, sometimes a hitman can be dressed as a preppy, as a suit, as a business guy.
So don't ever think that who's coming to attack you is just someone who quote unquote dresses in whatever somebody you think. So I honestly too, man, I hope that this finds a way to calm himself down, because he's in Texas right now.
Today, he's actually in San Antonio, and the San Antonio gang,
man, they don't play,
posted a video, and this is when you know it's getting serious. When dudes post a video on YouTube, with nothing but guns and shotguns and everything. And first of all, they say, look, we're speaking for the streets of San Antonio. Tekashi, you are not allowed to come here. You are banned. We don't mess with child molesters here. We don't like them and blah, blah, blah. And they said, we will shut down the club you're at. And they said nothing against the club,
right?
Or the people throwing the stuff.
They said they're willing to burn bridges,
yeah,
and on behalf of the streets.
So
because they said it's nothing to do with rap or anything like that,
or their rap career.
Exactly,
they
said it's just on behalf of the streets of San Antonio, Texas. They don't allow child molesters and they don't promote that. Which, first of all, being a part of Parents Against Predators, now I don't want to call him out specifically because I don't know that. I got to do more research personally myself before I can really make a judgment on how I personally feel. So anything I say is just based off of how I feel toward child molesting. Now, being a part of Parents Against Predators, I salute all those out there who stand up for children's rights and speak out. If you speaking out against any child molester anywhere, salute to you. Now I don't promote or encourage violence, but violence against child molesters is a different thing, man. So it's a little gray. It's a little gray area.
It's a street code.
It's a gray area for me.
There's a street code out there. It's just like jail.
Right.
Child molesters in jail do not last because criminals have a code. First of all, family is off limits and kids are off limits. And then if you're doing something to kids, you're gonna get what you get. Now, that's. We're not saying he's a child molester or anything.
Yeah, now look at it.
We're just saying.
Yeah, matter of fact, anybody who knows more about this, please send us some more information.
We really want to.
I ain't gonna lie, I really do want to know.
Okay, so from what I've seen is he took a picture with a minor, that the minor female was in a bra.
Well, how old is he? Because he looked like he's 12 himself.
But it was him and some other dude, and I guess it was like on a video that and they used the video or whatever.
Is he over 18?
I think so. He has to be out in the clubs and
he probably got at least 21. He tatted a foot. He fully tatted up.
Yeah, maybe So he got caught up in that deal, and then he did a plea deal, and then that's about it. Now I don't know what else are they, anything past that. That's what I don't know. But he's seriously in some trouble, man. Right now. People are still like I said, he's
21 years old.
Yeah, he's in San Antonio tonight, and we hope that those threats were just propaganda and nothing happens to him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, man, it's still a human life. We don't want this to be hip hop, another thing on hip hop and whatever. But at the end of the day, man.
I just want to say right here, man. Look, man. Boys in Texas don't play.
Yeah.
So all I'm gonna say is, man, just please, man. If somebody tell you don't come, man, I would take this very seriously. I'm not saying that you gotta cancel your show or nothing like that. And it just goes for anybody out there, man. If somebody gonna issue a warning like that, man, you should take that
seriously. Can we get the OGs in the game, man, to step up and be like, all right, man, we're gonna need to step up, man. In every city, though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not just in Texas. I think the rap community needs to unite, and every OG out there needs to just say, all right, look, man, enough is enough. Let's get this money. We all going to take care of each other, make this money, and we going to make sure that everybody's cool. Because at the end of the day, man, there's too much money out there to be made for everybody to be fighting and, beefing over stuff. Now, I'm not going to say some people are going to beef for other stuff, but you know what? That's their God-given right and everything. But
it's just, man, look. They killed Jesus, so everybody can be touched. Yeah. Anybody can be touched. So I'm just saying, man.
Damn, you had to put it like that.
I just for real.
They killed Jesus.
They killed Jesus. So if they could kill Jesus, they for sure could kill me, you, or anybody else.
Man, Jesus got a. Like I said, God has got a plan for everybody. It could be my day to day. You know what I'm saying? So I just live my life with peace and love. That's all I can do, man. So let's just hope everybody out there, man. And y'all could be like, oh, them old heads just talking this and that. I don't care what y'all think about me. At the end of the day, I can walk by myself in the street peacefully knowing that I did everything good. I can lay my head down on the pillow, go to sleep, and know that I did everything good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a goody two-shoe, man. I still like to go to the strip club. I still like to get drunk. I still like to do whatever.
Shut up and drink your beer. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm just going to shut up and drink my tequila here, man. Come on.
Shut up and drink your tequila.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things, man. Yeah. So let's just pray up, man. Hopefully everything gets so. Now,
hip-hop is the new wrestler, man.
Yeah.
definitely. But as we've seen in the past, it can
escalate pretty quick.
Pretty quick, man. So, man, I pray for everybody out there. Also, man, I'm gonna say this too, man, to my boys in San Antonio. Man, please, when y'all doing the videos, man, don't show your face and all that, because if something happen, what they gonna do? They gonna know exactly who to come looking for, man. So, man, y'all just start, man, cover y'all faces, man, for sure, man, when y'all doing the videos.
Damn. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, let's just stop self-snitching, first of all, on them videos, because that's all y'all doing. Second of all, man, let's just look out for the elderly, the kids, and everything in your neighborhood. You know, look out for people in your neighborhood, man. Because we need to get back to them days where we could throw block parties at the park, barbecues and everything, where kids could, you know, fun day at the parks and stuff like that, man. We need to get back to the basics. Man, you know what I'm saying?
We can't. We got to worry about our kids going to school. We got to worry about our kids getting shot or something happening at the park. We got to worry about something happening everywhere. Like, man, what does our society come to, man? We gotta learn some type of restraint, man.
Yeah, man. We just gotta respect each other, and you know, everybody in social media is a thug. We all know that, man. Everybody hard on social media. You give 140 characters to somebody, you know, they're gonna be shooting the world. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, remember, man, responsibility is what you gotta be thinking of. You got to be accountable for whatever you say. You know, whatever you type on social media, it's going to catch up to you. It's going to be either at a job or it's going to be with somebody. It's like, what's your name? Oh, ain't you so-and-so? Didn't you say this and that? And then we've seen videos on World Star Hip Hop to where people catch up to people. Oh, you were talking mess on social media, and they get beatings. You know, it's like, dude, come on, man. Words, like, you know, like I always say, man, words, sticking stones may break my bones, but leather chains and whips kind of excite me, you know. Nah, anyways, man, let's just be out there, man. Let's finish the show on a positive note, Paul. Black Panther, the movie. Did you see it yet?
Yeah, I gotta pull out my black grills for that. Man, that movie, lit. One of the greatest. I can't think of anything that was better, man. That movie was amazing, bro. I can't wait for the sequel. I can't wait for them to do the prequels. I can't wait for them to include Black Panther in all the other Marvel movies, like the Avengers now. Like when Black Panther and Spider-Man go fight somebody, and Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? Man, Marvel
it's crazy.
Lit right now, man.
I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Now, you know, I was on social media, you know, and I was like, okay, everybody was so hyped about it, and I said, if I'm not throwing dirt, not hating on nobody, or not going at nobody or anything, all I said was like, imagine if everybody was as excited to vote as they were for that movie.
My God.
Man, I caught hell for it on social media, but you know,
that's such a true statement, though,
bro.
We need to find that excitement when we voting. We just the same way we get enthusiastic about winning the World Series or whatever, you know. Just like, but it's the same thing. Like with the World Series, we lost so many times, we lose the interest, you know. So, but we finally won. Guess what? We happy now. So we gotta find that same excitement back when it comes to voting and the voting process. We gotta find that enthusiasm. I encourage everybody out there. Find a topic or a person or something that you can get behind, that you believe in, that you can that will excite you. Just the same way we root on different football teams, we root on the Texans. Find you a politician that you can root on and cheer up. You know what I'm saying? So, man, definitely, man. We gotta find that enthusiasm.
On that note, but then
the movie Black Panther.
Yeah, because I couldn't see the hype. I couldn't see the hype of it. Then I came across this post, and I'm gonna read it. It says, the director of the Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, I think that's his name. I hope I don't mess it up. Only 31 years old, from Oakland, California. He had a $900,000 budget for Fruitvale Station. That's a movie. It made $16 million. So they only spent $900,000 on the budget for that movie, and it made $16 million. That's a win right there for him. Then he had a $40 million budget for the movie Creed.
Damn.
And that movie made $173 million.
Okay.
So that's another win for him right there. Now check this out. Marvel gave him $200+ million budget for Black Panther. The most ever given to an African American director. He did such a great job. Now check this out. Like I told you, I wanted to finish on a positive note, right? That movie generated, let me see, as of Tuesday,
Drum roll.
as of this past Tuesday, it was at 462.3 million worldwide.
Wow, half a Bill Gates right there.
That was on the 1 week, like on a weekend open.
Wow,
Now,
on the opening weekend. Wow.
I haven't checked it out, but I'm planning on going and check it out. And man, you know one thing I love? Seeing the excitement of the kids.
Yeah.
Feeling so proud of their heritage.
Yeah, definitely.
And everything. Yeah. And you know, that's now I see why everybody was so hype about it. Yeah. And I'm kind of I'm feeding into it, man. I'm gonna have to go check it out myself because that was, you know, I have to see it for myself, and you know,
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, you know, and it's a win.
Yeah, man,
it's a win. I mean, I'm seeing everybody with their shirts straight out of Wakanda.
Yeah, man, bro, the movie was a great movie. It was put together from top to bottom. I love how they embraced hip hop in the movie, and of course Kendrick Lamar did a great job with everything.
Wow, and you know what? Shouts out to Kendrick because he took 1,000 kids to the movies to check it out. Also, our homie Travis Scott ran it out. I think he took about 1,000 people too.
Hey,
I think he took about 1,000 people to the kids.
No invite, what's man? We can't get Chileandthechamp invite. What's up, man?
Man, I guess because they know we would be like eating up all the food and everything. He said his bill wasn't. He didn't want his bill to rent up.
Maybe we need to do a Chileandthechamp a screening with some youth, man. Bro, that movie was so dope.
Yeah, and
I can't wait till the video games come out.
And you know, and the homie MVP, the wrestler, the homie MVP, he stays out here in Houston. Shouts out to him, Mr. 305 MVP. He said his kid was so excited. This fool went everywhere to look for a little Black Panther figure. He said he couldn't find it nowhere. They were all sold out and everything.
Guess what? I know where they can get them.
Where?
Chileandthechamp.com.
Hold on, man. Hold up.
Nah, they actually do got them at Bedrock Comics. I seen today on Washington. They got some over there because I bought some. I was gonna buy the whole collection.
Your kids into the movie?
Yeah. No, actually, they are into it. They haven't seen it yet though.
They haven't.
They just been into it just from the preview. So
okay.
I saw it already. I look forward to seeing it again. I plan on seeing it several times, and honestly, after I've seen it a few times, I'm gonna try to find somewhere where they got it in Spanish. Just to see it like a little bit different, you know what I'm saying?
Just with the SAP button for
No, but it's different when you hear the voices with it, with the action. I just want to see it in another language.
I can't do them in Spanish, man, because after you know what the voice sounds like, and then somebody else is like, no, pare ahí, yo le voy a pegar por toda su madre. Párele ahí.
It definitely was dope, bro. I don't know if you heard this. They got a new experience called the 4D experience.
Yeah, man. Is that where the chairs vibrate to the sound and everything? Okay,
anything you watch is 3D. Okay, of course you got the 3D glasses. This is 3D with the addition of the chairs vibrate.
Yeah,
they
to
move
the sound
a little
of everything.
bit. There's surround by all upon you. It mixed you with some type of water.
I wonder how.
There's smells.
That's nasty.
There's some type of smells.
No, that's nasty. Imagine that 50 Shades of Grey. You getting squirted all over that movie.
Be smelling like ass.
Coming up smelling like you step out of the strip club. You're like, babe, you told me you were going to watch 50 Shades of Grey.
Man, I really don't like 3D just because the glasses. I need to upgrade my 3D glasses so I can see the peripheral because I can't see the movies.
Man, you know what? They need to come up. Well, maybe we need to come up with it, Paul, because I wear glasses. And then when you put them 3D glasses on top of your glasses, it doesn't. I mean, it's still good.
3D prescribed.
Yeah, man.
Where we can get our 3D prescriptions at, man?
Because I mean, it's just sometimes that's why I don't go to 3D movies that much because I'm like, man, I'm missing out on it. Yeah, I'm missing out on it.
I don't really like 3D movies, man. But I don't know. I'm thinking. I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking about going to see the 4D Black Panther just because the 2D was. Oh my God, it was off the hook.
I'm gonna go check it out in 3D. That's what I've been looking at. But like the new way they have them is you gotta reserve your seating and all that stuff. So I'm just like,
$50 a seat.
Yeah, but no, I spend the money.
That's how they made that too. That's how they made that $400 million. Everybody was paying them $100 seat prices.
Nah, man,
there wasn't no $5 seat, $1.99 either.
Man, it started to crack me up, man. Like everybody was, like I find humor in everything. Now people are so fucked up, man. They say I saw this on ESG's Instagram. Shout out to ESG.
What on ESG?
That fool said Black Panther movie generated millions at the box office. Concession stands only a couple 100,000.
Because everybody's sneaking in their movie. I ain't gonna lie, I snuck something to drink. I snuck something to drink in.
Man, but see, that's what we saying, man. So you know what, man? We appreciate y'all taking the time and checking us out, man. It's Chile and the Champ podcast. Man, like to give a big shout out to our producer, Goo, Michael Ortiz, videoing it. Man, make sure you check us out on social media. Instagram, Chile and the Champ. You can spell ChileandTheChamp. Along on YouTube is Chile at the Champ. Also, if you need make sure you follow us on social media and everything like that. Chile at the Champ. Also, man, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Chile and the Champ. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or want to get a hold of Paul and I, some topics for the show, make sure you email us at chileandthechamp@gmail.com. Man, we appreciate y'all, Paul. Appreciate you, homie.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Make sure you follow us on social media. I can't say it enough. Chile and the Champ on Instagram. All right, man. We're going to come back next week with some more topics and more wrap up. And we're going to send a special prayer out for that fool Takasi, man. Make sure nothing happens to him, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love, people. Remember, we love y'all, man. Peace.
Hey.